Alright, let's get back into it. The hell? What is this in my chat here? Get this crap out of here. There's one thing I need to do before we go back to the chapel. So we'll leave our spawn at the bench there. Down we go. Lady, so you live still. This is good. I felt the conflict commence, pale hearts ablaze in the sudden well of darkness after.
That's fine.
I'm sorry, Ava. I had hoped to slay the monarch and was near achieving that goal. But the situation has become complicated. Now while our fallen, that threatens to fall. But I consented in you, lady. You have not yielded to despair, so some hope must still remain.
Benny Frank.
Slim hope, I suspect, but true. There may yet be a way through this disaster. I shall pursue that goal with whatever strength remains. Allow me to continue to aid you as I can. Mine might be a small contribution, but I shall provide it eagerly. Lady, you are a multitude within a single shell, a being truly unbound. To aid your stroke has proved a grand task, even for one as limited as me. As my last ask, permit me to ask a final, selfish request.
Me offended?
Your talents have provided great benefit, Ava. What is it you desire of me? Only to have my own soul, my own memories bound within your shell, as you have done with others throughout these lands. I would not define as a crest within you, but my small strength may still grant a final boon.
Magina Fora.
You ask to be subsumed. No, your mind would cease to be in any independent sense. I know, and still I seek it gladly. To be united with one unbound, this is the kind of escape I once prayed for, though the weight of ages has almost made me forget. Dear lady, would you grant me this request? Fine, Ava? Yeah. It's a wish. By your grace, I am at last broken from my fate.
Yanara.
Gladly I accept your union, Ava. No longer shall you suffer eternity alone. So what do we get then? Found Ava's heart. Silksong. Ava's soul and strength reside within. Silk will regenerate while resting at a bench. Neat. Entwined. Find Ava. Oh, wrong direction. I don't want to get teleported back there. Not yet. Oh. I remember. We have to go out the normal way. Because it sets our fast travel point to there. For whatever reason. Thankfully they left the lights on. Makes it a lot easier to move around. Nice. Built it all the way up to full. Beautiful. So we can start off each battle from now on with full stats. Would have been useful later. Anyway.
Hironare.
I found the well hidden in the chambers beyond. The power that remained at its base I've taken for myself.
Not amiss.
Found yourself a new nature, and from the shells of our ancestors, no less. All those many who called these lands their own. You make it seem so simple, like all of that learning, all that strength sucked up in a whirl of silk. We'd call you a thief, old one, and cruel for the taking, but it's all coming down soon if you can't stop it. If there's advantage in your act that might see these caves safe, then it's better you make your claim. Anyway, what's this? That's an unexpected heart you're holding, old one. We can guess to its source, though we believed it long gone from these lands.
Fadastama.
The heart of a graceful lord. In its taking, I was able to witness his caves and kingdom as once they flourished. A stunning sight, unique, all gone, lost to the pale monarch, and the system to keep her caged.
Hasbin?
It is time, shamans. I have the hearts. Enough is requested. Enough to build your spell, yes? Aye, we're ready. Still, it's a sad set you're holding there. Strength such as few shall ever know, and all about to burn for Farloom's saving. I warn you, old one. This first part might not be pleasant, but we'll get you in there deep as needed. Now, you've only ready yourself for what comes after. Lay up on the dais, and we'll begin. I better not regret this. Down we go. What's another cult ritual among friends? Ow. Red memory. Oh. Not going that way. No. They took it from me. We have to pogo normally now. Could you do this to me? I was using the Reaper's Crest specifically so I didn't have to do the diagonal pogo. Show us your craft, child. Show it splendid, as only we can teach. Prove yourself more weaver than worm. Getting backstory. A little bit. Not that way. At least we don't die. That's good. There it is. Wait a minute, why not just do this? So much easier. See? Oh. Haha. We didn't have to go all the way. Alright. Up we go, right? Never mind. Down? Down. All the way to the bottom. Oh, it's the elevator of, Fuck, what's the name of the original town in Hollow Knight? It's been like, what, 2 years since I played it? I want to say Hollow Nest, but I'm not sure if that's correct. But I recognize the sign. Babby Hornet is adorable. So small. Ignore them, daughter. They're whispers. Greater, grander, weaver, guardian, queen. Those are their desires, not your own. Certainly not mine. If only you resist them, you might see it. Another hope beyond. Would you recall these words in time so far? Do you even remember me, child? Could you? Mother before the mask, before I lay forever in duty. Oof. Stares at the camera. So are we just like getting in tune with like the Weaver heritage so we can get further into the abyss? We don't need to bonk. Oh, it's the beehive. The one that has, like, no lore. It's just kind of there. Funny. See the knight in one of these flashbacks. Oh, good, better. Yet, still you will need to be faster. In time, they'll come for you. Those who fear your nature and those seeking to claim it. To survive our world, you must learn to sting swift and sudden. We finally got lore for the beehive in Hollow Knight. It only took 8 years. Oh, we're not going further down. These are the bugs from the White Palace or whatever. Like, we use these in the Path of... Or we fought them, sort of, in the Path of Pain. We use them as footstools. The other way. I always have to check. I know there's secrets in this, but you gotta check. Always gotta check. Oh, so close. down. Head first. What's the worst that could happen? Hello.
Merma.
Alas, spider child. For our ways you will think us harsh. You will think us uncaring, unrepentant.
Carnero.
And so we must seem, for such is the cost of our wish.
Fadastana.
You're wrong, lady. I knew the wish and the price to achieve it, and now, across these many ages, I have only come to know it better.
Catestre.
Strength in mind, in care, in claw. Strength enough that I may live to see a world better than our own, or to craft a world as I desire. That was the wish of my mother, of my mentor, and of you.
Merma.
Indeed, Spider, so much pain you must have passed to speak our hope so simply. For her you become, who knows clear our desire and has seen full the darkness beneath our house. I would show you the gift. The flower.
Akoman.
Witness the first light, the only means we possess to resist that void with which our family is forever linked. Reach forth, child, grown strong. Wrest it from this remembrance. Burn yourself free from our sad fate. So bright. Mamma mia. Name the Everbloom, fragile flower taken from a deep and distant memory. Its pale light wards against the void. Now we can go to the abyss. Remembrance. Claim the Everbloom from within a distant memory. Oh, they're all dead. Objective updated. No speaketh the dead. Thought I heard singing. Ooh. Still have the conjoined heart. Nice. Dive into the void and cut Farloom free. The final quest. I wonder if people will comment on the flower. Oh, do we have to go this way? Or is the bell viable travel? I mean, I wanted to check with the other hounds. They might comment on the flower, because it's special. And thankfully, we don't have to worry about touching anything and have the flower explode to a billion pieces.
Tamiyan.
Optomanda.
Okay.
Oh, mas querer?
Nope.
Benny Frank.
I'm not doing that delivery. If it ain't necessary, I'm not gonna do it. Pretty sure that's a complete collection. You run through. Hello. Oh. 3 beads in Geo? Cool. Well, shards. Geo is the wrong term. I'm missing 3 mementos. What are these mementos for? Curious. Silksong. Mementos. Like, they don't count for 100% completion, apparently. But, mementos, let's see. These are not helpful. Let's see. Mementos. The first one's complete the Hunter's Journal, so we'd have to kill the bugs in the void for that one. The Court of Cross is one. The heart is one. Beating our inventory. Beat the Watcher at the Edge, which we did. Let's see, okay. The Nameless Town Above the Cradle, we did that one. Defeat the Shrine Guardian Seth and then beat his high scores? No, not doing that one. Let's see, what's the next one, out of curiosity? Complete the Hero's Call quest. I don't know which one this one is, but we probably did it, assuming. Yeah, Hero's Memento. Complete the Fastest in Farloom. We did that one. The final race isn't available until after you complete the Old Hearts quest. So does that mean there's one more race that we can do? Does that mean I have to go all the way over to the right in the far fields? Or was it the far fields? Here? Is that it? Can't remember. Been too long. Let's see, where is this located? Let's see. Silksong. Okay, so yeah, it's in far fields over there. So yeah, let's. I'm curious. Also, there's like no extra oil we can get, right? Didn't he have like a thing that said more dialogue if we get more oil to give it to him? Oh no, he's done upgrading. I forgot. It was when we got the pale oil from the mini games. Farfields. I mean, it's easy enough to get there considering that way's open. Plus, if there is another race, I would like to beat it. We can just go to the upper level here since we can fly, basically. Yeah, we came this way because of the other side quest. The one that had us fight the trap boss. One that took us a couple tries. Decided to just go over here. For some reason. Okay, got another race. Nibblebug, you return refreshed, and so perfectly timed, for I have a new challenge prepared. This core shall remain the same as last, but the length lapse be greatly extended.
That's fine.
You propose a test of endurance. I have undertaken many in my time. Excellent, excellent. Though I know for this race, I can only provide slight reward for victory. What say you, Nimblebug? Let us stride fast forth. I'm willing to try this one. Boy, let our mighty contest of shells commence again. Let's try to do this one. First try. I don't have the muscle memory anymore, but we will go. Yeah, if I fall, then it ruins the whole thing. How many laps did we have to do? I'm assuming 6. I didn't really check the number of laps. Yeah, 6. What? We start off with no silk in this? I thought we would have more silk. Let's see. Okay, we start off with a little bit of silk. Oh, yeah. Mix it up with the other downward area. If I could remember the muscle memory for how I did this before, I could probably do it. So I won fairly handedly last time. Figure out exactly how to do that part. Confusing to me for some reason. Made it 4 laps before all my reactions failed me.
Oh, Sayoma! Ah, sabia!
Nice.
Ah, hola, Sasia.
Again and again, you prove your mastery, Nibblebug. Yet, I still never tire of the challenge. As a reward for such an impressive feat of endurance, I have only this small trophy, a memento given by my own speed teacher, and now barely passed to you.
Ah,
Now I shall remain and train, and know, though I have no more awards to give, you are welcome to grace my track as many times as you wish. You could race him again.
sabia!
Though no reward remains to give, I would like to soar together with you again. Now we're doing.
Buenita.
Ah, Simero!
Having met, it is inevitable. Fate calls us to compete, but we already competed. Anyway. Figured might as well get that memento. I'm good enough at the races, I felt, to where I could get it. I don't have that same confidence in the various challenges at Fleetopia. Want to visit Sherma. Surely Sherma has something to say. Something new to bring up. Hello.
Oh, Benventra.
Good maiden, you have some great task ahead of you, do you not? If so, then I fear the time of our final parting draws near.
Nesvir.
You sense it true, Sherma. We shall soon descend into the darkness below and quell the source of Farloom's rending. If that task is achieved, my future may take me far from Farloom, but no, I have faith that you will hold these bugs together and see them prosper.
Sacradela.
Ah, truth. I'm still only a fool, but I'll hold dearly to your faith in me. That warmth will help me endure whatever challenges lie ahead. Now, let me pray for you, dear friend, and may my hopes follow you into the deepest darkness and beyond. Maiden strong, wreathed in red, shield her shell, bless her dread. She fights for us until the end. Please protect my dearest friend. We have started something we cannot stop. He even turns towards us. I'm happy that Sherma lived to the end of the game. Is he the only named bug outside of Hornet that, I guess Hornet and the, I guess the people that were in Bellheart stayed alive. Most of the ones that start from the bottom did not live. Hey, how's it going, Maledictus? Let's see if they got that bell repaired so we can travel back to the Abyss. How do we get there again? It is Deep Docks. Yeah, over here. Knowing Maledictus, how are you doing? Hopefully well. Hey, so how are you doing?
Mio fine.
Forge Daughter, I've acquired a power that will enable me to end this black madness. Soon I'll act to stop the quakes and save this land. Excellent, Pointy Bug. Your drive and your vigor both have proven surprisingly large for one so small. No, we have heard from Ballo, who hold of his repair efforts upon the diving bell below. By now, the task is likely completed. If you're hoping to put his work to the test, then we shall wish again on your survival. And if our own service can aid your critical task, we know we will continue to provide it gladly. You don't have anything I want to buy, though. I just remembered something that I forgot about. There's one other NPC that I would like to check up on. Or I guess technically a couple of NPCs. Before we venture off to the depths. To go back to the Grand Bellway and take transport to get there. Right here. I guess we go up through the Citadel Cross. There we are. Coral chambers. You're doing good. Well, I'm doing good too. Trying to finish off this long first and probably only playthrough of this game until the DLC comes out, and then we continue with the DLC. Whoops. Do I still play Megaton games? I haven't gotten around to playing Shin Megami Tensei I think it's, I think the one I'd be on would be... Like, I'm pretty sure the one that I'm on is the, Yeah, let me find out which one it was. Game list, I think SMT is towards the bottom. Let's see, so I should be able to find it easily. Let's see. It's not as easy to find as I thought. There it is. Yeah, the next one I had on the list of SMT games would be Nocturne, which is the first one that people said is actually really good. Because the first two and all the other ones I played were rough. But I haven't gotten around to them yet. I have too many games on my backlog. And there are other games that I've had a more immediate interest in. Say, Silksong. Yeah, I'm well aware that I should play 3 sometime. These two are still alive. How are these two still alive? Like, actually. How has this guy not been eaten by his master? Anyway. That was a waste of time. Of any NPCs to die, I fully expected him to be dead. Oh no. Well, he's somewhat close to the elevator over there. Missed. I've been playing more video games now, so maybe I'll get around to playing SMT Nocturne if I can get through some of the games that I'm really excited for in current days, which, well, really the only ones that I have where it's like I really want to play it is God of War Ragnarok, which is what I was planning to play. You're in Act 2 of Silksong, 30 hours already. I have like 50 hours, 50 some hours. Yeah, there's a lot of content in this game. I mean, hey, if a group of 3 people can spend 8 years on a game and have me spend 60 hours running around this world like a chicken with his head cut off, hey, they did a good job. Right, now we take the bell and go back down to the abyss to try to finish the journal and everything else. Let's see, so we go... down, left, and then right. Actually, no, we can't go that way. That's that's a sauna. We have to go, like, down, right, and around. Confusing path. Always have to check the map because I am never 100% sure. Oops. Forgot about the spike trap again. Forgot about the second spike trap also. Let's avoid that. There we go. Wait a minute. We need to go this way. I guess I'll use the sauna bench. It's free, so... Sauna bench. We want to equip a new silk skill? Never really use these. Yeah, this one sucks. I forgot about that. Charge our silk real quick. There we go. Now, how are you handling the bosses, Maledictus? I found them to be about the same difficulty as Hollow Knight's bosses. Difficult but fair for the most part. At least a lot of them. There were a few that were a little easy. And some where I had to focus real hard and still beat them first try. Once I got their patterns down. I doubt the next boss is going to be like that, because I'm pretty sure it's the final boss. Stun miss, hit the shell shield. Feels like new. Better than new, even. If you're planning another descent, head down, holler, and I'll get you going. Your work is appreciated, sir. Know that with luck, the threat from below might soon be quelled, and your hands shall rest calm. Judging by the map, looks like there's still a lot of content. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, good. I'm only really wishing to return to the forge, and my regular duties, for a little purpose, routine. Frankly, miss, all this action's more than a bit overwhelming for folks like me. I'll be glad when it's all over, providing we survive, of course. Your shell shield's all bolted on tight, miss. If you're planning another descent, head down, holler, and I'll get you where you're going. Better get ready to die. Holler when you're ready, miss. Upgrades are done. That bell's as ready as it'll ever be. Locking in. You get a cutscene again, or just down to the bottom? Down to the bottom. And we made it in one piece this time. That bench did not restore our, There we go, that's better. Still gotta kill some enemies here for the journal. Maybe we can find that. We can... Let's get out of here so we can loot ourselves up here. I hope so we can find a few enemies. Oops. We need some of those. I don't need to kill any more of those guys, though. What's up here? Oh. Oh, yeah. I remember that. The beginning's kind of fair, but it got easier so far. The beginning was pretty difficult. It definitely gets better as you get more tools in your arsenal. And a lot of the combat just kind of gets more fun. The more stuff you get and the more tools you can utilize. Double jump saved my sanity. Attacking there. Okay. Yeah, great start. Let's see, how many more of those guys do we have to kill? The Shadow, Creeper, and Chargers are the only enemies left. And I think the Chargers are on the lower levels only? There's a bench right down there too, so we can use that to probably respawn the few enemies that are around here. Anybody in here? Oh, yeah, it was a jump puzzle. Forgot about that one. We're probably gonna die here, but we can easily get back here by avoiding all of the enemies. Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find an easy enemy to get our soak back against. Perfection. And we found a charger enemy to take out. Technically, in those rooms there, we have one regular and one big charger boy. We should be able to just finish off the journal here. Just utilize the bench. See, we need 2 of each. So we have to do 2 laps here. Then we can go back to new and see what our journal completion reward is, since we're able to easily get back. It's 1. Let's fly up real quick. I did not know you could cancel it midway. It says 100% completion. We done did it. But I want the journal to be complete. I spent the time farming it up. I might as well go all the way. More this way. Completed. Journal done. Sort of. I guess we probably need to beat the final boss for the final thing, don't we? Well, it says 235 out of 235 for all of it. Let's see. If we can make it to new without using a bench, we could turn that in and then fast travel back to the Abyss bench. Unless the bell travel counts as using a bench, which it might. Hopefully it doesn't. Hey, Laylee, how are you doing? Oops. Let's use that. That'll make it possible. Doing a lot better. That's good. I remember you were sick the other day. And I'm doing pretty good. Decided to take let's see. Sir, I need to return a bug. Please ready the bell for me. I sit on the bench. Let's get you hauled up. Watch some shows. The Rascal Does Not Dream Of series is actually pretty good. I am not fully caught up with it yet, but it's a very fun show. Sort of romancy, sort of weird psychological trauma stuff. Nothing new for him. So we need to get out of here without losing all of our masks. It should be easy enough. Kill everything like 1 or 2 hits. We can go this way to avoid that annoying trek. We don't have to sit at the sauna bench. You one-tap those guys. Dang it. Go. So let's see, we go to Raymore. And New should be within the halfway house. Up and at him. And the rest of Miss Grown Up, let New see our journal, for she's eager to see your cuts. Miss Grown Up, your journal is bursting with every sort of creature, overflowing. Surely we can call this complete. You'd think that such a task could even be done. So clever is New to have set such a fierce predator onto the work. These vast lands hold so much life, and catalog it all has taught me greatly. It is an effort worth continuing even after I leave this kingdom. Oh ma, such a hunger is worthy indeed. You and I are of accord, Miss Grown Up. Hunters both. Our methods are different, but our appetites have become very similar. New has for you this token, a symbol of all your efforts, and a marker of your true nature. It carries with it her sweet, sweet smell. True hunter, hunter's memento. And now, Miss Grown Up, the task is done. New must be away. But do not be sour, just think. Harlem is only one land. So many more must hide out there, filled full with beasts and scents and tastes, all waiting to be discovered. For New, her journey is only at its start. And for you, Miss Grown Up, New wishes to your happy hunting and much more. New packed up. Yep, New packed up. The top is now barren. Very sad.
There's a hole?
And now he is by himself because there's nobody here. We don't need it.
There's a hole?
We'll buy a nectar for the road. Chug, chug, chug.
There's a hole? There's a hole?
We can't get drunk. It's only nectar. It ain't fermented. Oh, look at all these journal entries that all have bits from Hornet in it. All little extra details. I want to read them all. Have to go. Have a good stream. All right. I'll see you later, Maledictus. Have a good evening. All right. I am going to set a timer. And I am going to read the journal entries for fun. Because I like little bits of silly lore. Start. Let's see. Moss grub. Fur-covered crawler with a series of sharp spikes along its back. If not for the spikes, I would think it an appealing bug. Massive moss grub. Unnaturally overgrown moss grub. Bred within the Citadel's memoriam. So close to a perfect furred form, I've only been able to breed out the spines. Mossimer. Small, fluttering creature capable of defending itself with its small stinger. This bug is soft and clumsy, but to its fortune, its home caves seem relatively free of effective predators. I wonder why that is. Moss Mother. Adult Mossmer with a fully developed stinger and hardened hide. Motherhood is an instinct that can push creatures beyond what seems their natural limits. It turns even weaker beasts like these into formidable foes. Achnid. Winged insect that feeds upon moss and lichen in the caves that are above bone bottom. In its natural state, it would avoid potential predators, but Farlam's haunting now compels it to aggression. Fortunately, its jaws are ill-suited for combat. Skull Scuttler. Small, soft bug that uses the hard skulls of the marrow for protection and disguise. In every land, creatures find new and surprising ways to disguise themselves. One must be wary always. Skullwing. Airborne relative of the grounded skull scuttler, found only in the marrow's deepest, hottest caves. Such feeble creatures could only survive thanks to the rarity of predators in these superheated caverns. Skullbrute. Soft bug beneath a huge horned skull. Charges at intruders to protect its territory and its smaller companions. Either its size has made it fearless, or the haunting has removed itself a sense of self-preservation. Skull Tyrant. Rare, enormous skull scuttler. The marrow's largest predator, and the most feared for its ferocious temperament. Though surely fierce, the skull it bears looks taken from an even larger beast. If not for the bones as proof, I would scarcely believe bugs could grow to such scale. Hillock. Small bony bug that favors dark tunnels. Can expand its spiked carapace to ward against attacking predators. I'm fond of its simple effective traps, such as this bug's extendable spikes. An unwary predator would be skewered clean through. Beastfly. Aggressive fly of Farloom's lowlands, rams prey with its hard-bone mask. Dancing around this simple creature as it charges back and forth is the sort of game I delighted as a child. Alas, now I have more pressing matters to attend to. Savage Beastfly. Angered adult beastfly with a weighty body and a thickened hard-shell mask. Civilization encroaches from this kingdom's crown, but the lowlands are still ruled by great beasts. Its roar stirs something deep within me, some primal instinct. Carinid. Common winged bug of the lowlands, generally docile but will attack if threats come close. Their plump round shape makes them well suited for target practice. Difficult to resist, testing my aim on them. Vicious Carinid. Aggressive winged bug of the lowlands. When angered, it rapidly whips its bladed tail as a weapon. Its wings are quite small compared to its bulk. Perhaps it uses the warm air of these fiery lands to help stay airborne. Clever, if so. There's no way his small wings will allow that fat body to fly. Hardbone Hopper. Grazing creature with sharp senses that nimbly retreats from danger. Despite the haunting of its shell, it has not been overcome with aggression. Its desire to flee remains too strong. Hardbone Elder. Tall creature with sharp senses. Defends its herd with powerful legs and a sharp-tipped mask. There's surprising strength hidden in their thin, elegant limbs. It'll be a pleasure to ride upon it. ... Paramite. Flying bone mite that lives near magma. Roasts its prey by spitting scorching tar. Its sticky spit would no doubt make a useful crafting material if molded fresh. Unfortunately, I cannot stop to experiment. Mauling. Young bony bug that can curl its body to form a ball. Their rough, rigid shell grips tight to any surface. Even walls and roofs become pathways for these nimble bugs. Marrowmaw. Giant roller of the lowlands. Its rigid hide will crush smaller creatures beneath it. Sheer bulk makes for an effective weapon, but requires much sustenance. This creature would have spent most of its time eating, an acceptable life for some. Ochre. Spine-shooting drifter of the lowlands. Whatever admiration I had for its fleecy down is spoiled by its disturbing mask and its steely spines. Flint beetle. Rarely seen beetle that spends most of its life nestled deep in bone and rock. The flint gems on its shell excrete an explosive powder. Its bright gems could be used to make beautiful but short-lived jewelry. An amusing idea for a gift. Or a trap. Rhino Grund. Longhorn beast of Farloom's lowlands. Relies on its horn both to impale and to wrench the ground beneath it, flinging dangerous debris. Certain tools and skills can pierce its defenses. I should adjust my strategy as needed. We only fought 2 of them. Gromling. Young masked worm that delights in ambushing intruders within its tunnels. A frustrating fiend. They flee beneath the bone whenever I try to strike them down. Agreed. Grom. Burrowing worm that uses its many blunted teeth to dig through even the hardest bone. They ceaselessly churn through rock and bone without ever seeming to rest. Do they have a destination, or are they compelled to dig forever deeper? Bellbeast. Huge hardbone bug that lives within and travels through the veins of old bells across Farloom. This one has allied themselves with me, either as thanks for saving or respect for one judged as equal. Whichever the reason, their fellowship is welcome. Pilgrim Groveler. Basic bug of Farloom, laid low upon the ground. Taken by Farloom's haunting, the bug is now capable of little more than prayer and aggression. Pilgrim Pouncer. Agile bug of Farloom. Its higher functions have been lost to the haunting. With a softer shell than most, they would have relied on their athleticism to survive. Pilgrim Hornfly. Short pilgrim that uses their long horn to launch upon threats. Worth equip this one well. In its assault, it becomes its own projectile. Pilgrim Hulk. Sturdy bug lost to the haunting. Rolls at threats with no care for its own discomfort. A rare-built bug within these ailing lands. Most pilgrim shells seem small by comparison. What nourishment did they discover to grow so large? Pilgrim Bellbearer. Common bug wielding a set of old bells. The bug will fling the bells at anyone it deems still free. Their bells would once have rung with hope and mirth, lifting the spirits of any climbing companions. Sadly, those instruments have turned purely to combative use. Winged Pilgrim. Shorthorn bug with underdeveloped wings. Flight it possesses, but only just. It may lift from the stone, but those sad wings would never carry it far. Elder Pilgrim. Thick-set bug consumed by haunted thread. Uses their solid frame to crush others. A lucky bug to be able to grow old. Farloom's roads take most much earlier. Winged Pilgrim Bellbearer. Pilgrim endowed with large wings, carrying a brace of iron bells. Uneven terrain, through union of flight and range, can prove a challenge even for me. Pilgrim Hiker. Hard-shelled bug with a climber's pin. Their pin, once aid, has become a weapon, though the bug is unrefined in its use. A bug once frail, pushed by twisted thread beyond its mortal limits. I mean, the Pilgrim Hiker was one of the more, actually combative random pilgrims. The guide here, and debatably the overgrown one, or the probably the other regular, most well-equipped for fighting guys. Let's see, Pilgrim Guide. Old pilgrim carrying a heavy iron bell staff. The large bell seems to signify them as once leader of a climbing troop, though the haunting has erased that former authority. Overgrown Pilgrim. Aged pilgrim, overgrown with lichen and moss. The moss looks to grow even inside their stomach, which the pilgrim spits at foes in compressed globs, a foul form of offense. Covetous Pilgrim. Strong bug replete with rosaries. If angered, they will whip their strings in a ceaseless onslaught. Is this abundance a sign of purity or greed? The way faith is measured in this land is curious indeed. Snitchfly. Pernicious looter found all over Farloom. While these bothersome bugs are left free to forage, no loose rosary or trinket is safe. Lavalug. Sticky mollusk that defends itself by spraying burning fluid from growths on its back. What seems at first a purely defensive mechanism may also be necessary to rid this creature of excess heat. Lava Larga. Fully grown mollusk able to unleash a gushing torrent of burning fluid from its back. To survive while storing so much searing fluid within. Before I would have believed it impossible, but Farloom is home to many marvels. Smelt Shoveler. Low-level worker, lost to Farloom's haunting. Instincts keeps them at their task, though in much simpler fashion than before. This kingdom appears more advanced in metalwork than my own ever was, in great part due to the natural heat source at its base. Working in such an environment is an impressive feat. Flintstone Flyer. Aerial worker lost to Farloom's haunting. Bears a pouch full with flintstone at which they will fling at intruders. That incendiary material they carry is a natural wonder, with many potential applications. What a waste to carelessly throw it at me whenever I pass by. Flint Flame Flyer. Brave worker carrying unstable flint flame and wearing a heavy bell to protect against potential ignition. Theirs would be a high-risk life, followed by a short, searing end. Smoke Rock Sifter. Symbol-bearing worker of the deep rocks. Hands the halls of smoke rock to find traces of more precious minerals. The haunting has stolen some important part of these bugs, yet they still attempt their former task, until that is they sense my presence. Deep Diver. Bell-clad bug responsible for mining the deeper, treacherous depths below their docks. Their heavier bells armor them well against my strikes, but against that oppressive heat, and they help at all? Four brothers Cygnus and Gron, elder overseers of the deep docks, responsible for the oversight and punishment of lesser workers. Lost in the madness of the haunting, they still commanded the endless excavation of their caves. Craglite, infant form of the more formidable Cragler. If left to grow, these young bugs will fight for dominance until only one remains. Cragler, thick-plated scuttler that prefers high places, holds an extensive supply of searing acid in a layered sac within its shell. The acid rains from its mouth upon any creature it sees as food. Brushflit, tiny timid creatures that huddle together, that huddle in flocks and flee at the first hint of danger. They call out to warn their fellows at the smallest sense of threat. Successful hunt here means staying silent and hidden right up until the decisive strike. Furtid, skittish scrambler of the far fields. Its antennae resemble stalks of grass to aid in camouflage. It has no means to defend itself. Its only hope for survival is to be mistaken for a plant. Flapping Furtid, docile bug whose wings mimic the grasses of the far fields, a common snack for larger predators. When roosting, it would look convincingly plant-like. In flight, its bulbous body quickly ruins the ruse. Fourth chorus, towering iron automaton, driven by rotor and cog. A terrifying achievement of Farloom to build a construct so large and yet so nimble. Scarlet, small burrowing ant, servant to the larger Scar. These bugs work mainly as finders and foragers for the warriors of their tribe. Combat has not long been their nature. Scarwing, darting predator that clings fast to roosts and outcrops, often summoned to aid its larger companions. It would make an effective hunting companions, though even without the haunting, I suspect their loyalty would always remain to their clan. Scar Scout, young ant hunter wielding sickles carved from teeth, will often call for aid if danger comes close. Despite their youth, they are impressive opponents. It seems likely their tribe were trained for combat from birth. Scar Stalker, skilled ant hunter bearing blade and armor fashioned from bone. Fierce, strong, and disciplined, yet these qualities do not protect them from the haunting. Is such a fate inevitable in these lands? Spear Scar, winged ant hunter that strikes from the air with its bone lance. In my youth, I envied all bugs with wings. I even fancied I might grow a pair. I have since learned better, accept the limitations of one's body, and augment with tools as needed. But eventually, if you replace all your limbs, do you just become... it's like the ship of Theseus or whatever. Anyway. No need to contemplate, we have a lot of lore to read, and we're probably about halfway or so done, if even. Scarguard, huge ant hunter tasked to protect the stores and passages of its tribe. Theirs is the perfect shell for their duty, a wall of a warrior and an adept fighter. If I hope to claim their treasures, I must bring my best. Gur the Outcast, huge yet stealthy Scar, an expert trapper and master of the undergrowth. His tracks and traps should have been obvious from the start. This old hunter sought to draw me in. What reason drove him to test himself so brutally? That answer I suspect I shall never know. Last Claw, elite former hunter acting as the final line of defense before their mother. Their skill once saw them chosen, and I can plainly see why. They would have lived and trained only for this duty. And Scarsinger Carmelita, song queen of the Scar and their most talented warrior. This graceful ruler once possessed skill to rival my own. At her youthful peak, her voice united all Scar in her service. Might, verminous pest, common throughout the dark corners of Greymore. Individually, they offer little challenge, but their numbers are surely vast, and most remain hidden. Fluttermite, airborne pest, less common than its grounded siblings, attacks with sharp fangs if agitated. Similar bugs would gnaw away at unguarded food supplies in my homeland. As a child, I would hunt them, eager to make use of myself and test my skills. Mite Mother, aged female mite, grown larger and stronger than most of its kin. Poor of sight, but possessing a keen sense of smell. It uses its bulk to charge at foreign scents. Remaining fierce so far into its old age is an admirable trait. Dreg Catcher, bug charged to catch dregs of silk that fall from the citadel. Will attack with its staff if provoked. These bugs look to have spent every waking moment at their work. Grim, endless labor in service of the unseen citadel above. Silk Snipper, scissor-wielding bug charged to cut and spool fallen dregs of silk for return to the citadel above. Is it the haunting that drove them to cackling madness, or was it their unending toil the cause even before that? Red Raker, tall bug charged to pile silk dregs in preparation for respooling. Their sharp rake now doubles equally well as a stabbing weapon. Theirs seems a sad, grueling task, serving their lifetime for a citadel unseen. Moorwing, winged mite beast, bred large to catch workers who once tried to flee their tasks. With its wranglers long dead, the Moorwing stalk the towers of Greymoor, feasting on passing pilgrims and tenders alike. Wisp, short-lived sprite born of flickering flame. Live only a single bright moment. What would one feel? Is it glorious or only despair? Could it be both? Mixed? Equal? Burning Bug, many-legged insect fanatically obsessed with flame. These ones somehow learn to call and guide the scorching wisps that share their thicket. Whether through dominance or reverence is unclear. Father of the Flame, totem and god built and worshipped by the burning bugs. The remains of an aged bug were housed at the pyre's heart. The structure suggested they wished for immolation. If so, I have seen their wish granted. Raw, reaching scavenger that roots high in caverns and preys on passing pilgrims. Nice alliteration there. By the swooping menace, a simple bug can be easily overcome. More dangerous still, they rarely attack alone. Paul Craw, ragged-winged adult crawbug bearing a scavenged pin. Far more hostile than their younger companions, but seemingly less likely to roam far from their nest. Squat Craw, stout adult crawbug bearing several short pins. A cowardly sort, they'll try to remain at range to throw their sharp weapons. Best to rush them down and cut quick. Roger, screeching scavenger dyed black in mourning at their land's collapse. Weak, afraid, and aware of the imminent end. I understand their desperation, but my death will not prevent the coming fall. So they colored themselves black in mourning. They weren't corrupted? Interesting. Tall Craw Jur, Elder Crawbug serving in a sacred ceremony. Curiosity saw me answer their summons, but I shall not allow them to stall me long. I must work fast to fix my grand mistake. Squat Craw Jur, short Elder Crawbug eagerly serving in their court. They seek to slay their only chance at survival. Alas, any words would fall useless. I have only my blade to offer response. Rawfather, Lord and Justice of Farloom's Craws, delivers death to condemned bugs with his steel-plated beak. Did he recognize my part played in this land's void-strung state? If so, perhaps his judgment was not unfair. These bugs, I have brought much destruction. Muck Maggot, mindless infant larvae coated in thick slime. They cling fast to the shells of other bugs, destroying any hope for concentration or comfort. Slubberlug, younger form of muckroach, attacks prey by leaping from the water and snapping with its flexible jaws. These creatures look to have been bred deliberately in watery pens. If they're food to be, their scent suggests they must taste vile. Muckroach, starved packbug with an insatiable appetite. Despite their tough hide and pungent meat, roaches breed rapidly, so are sometimes farmed for food. A revolting creature, my shell itches at their presence. In the pens where their numbers grow fast, I'm forever on edge. Agreed, I hate them. Blowroach, the obese offshoot of muckroaches. Born of the Citadel's exhaust smog, the winged roach's sagging stomach is filled with sizzling bile. Its form is absurd. Surely it should not be able to hold itself in the air. The noxious gases in its stomach must provide its levity. Roach catcher. Short nimble bug who uses barbed bolas to keep beasts corralled and caged. Their throwing weapon is well suited to the wine caverns they inhabit. These slight little bugs must have a keen claw for crafting. Roach feeder. Tall roach tender charged to feed muckroaches on a lean diet of maggot gruel. The feeder's curled pin looks designed to keep ravenous muckroaches at bay, and the tender from turning into the meal. Roach keeper. Grizzled older roach tender weighted with a lasso of heavy chain. Though their mind is largely lost, their skill with a chain has not been forgotten. Does the haunting eternally bind a bug to the task it had in life? Roach server. Roach server. Okay, it is server. Oh, this is from the... Yeah, this guy, the chef. British cook responsible for dicing muckroach meat into edible portions. Though their actions be called skill, I see only a crude mangling of meat. Yet I wonder, before the haunting snared their minds, was it any different? Disgraced chef Lugoli, once exalted chef, exiled from the Citadel for repeated culinary crimes, returned to their home caves, the chef continued to devise delicacies too repulsive for any bug still sane. Wraith, anguished specter of lingering thread. Despite its ephemeral nature, strong strikes can dispel the wraith for a time. Not a bug, but a projection of another will cast in smog and silk. Mothleaf lagnia, a rare calmer bug of bilewater, survives its hazardous surroundings by hiding as a plant. This one's pretty, but not as soft as it first seems. The planet mimics is flaked and coarse, and the bug's coat shares similar texture. Myrmite, crawling insect with a sizzling bile sac in its abdomen. The threat of its exploding rear is an effective deterrent to predators, but the slightest jolt or fall can cause its premature end. Swamp squid, plentiful pest with a sharp proboscis and a belly full of bile. More dangerous in the moment of its explosive and corrosive death than it ever was in life. Spit squid, hovering pest with a hollowed proboscis able to spit globs of sizzling bile. To subsist on the sickly water in this fetid environment, it spits out the most toxic elements. Over generations, this former survival technique has turned into an effective hunting tool. Stilkin, cunning bug that hunts with darts fashioned from steak and bile. They know well their domain, working in wait in its byways and bogs, always ready to pounce. Stilkin trapper, trap-setting bug carrying a pouch of sharpened long stakes. More bothered than the bug themselves are the countless traps they've already laid throughout their caves. Garol the Great, chief and chaplain of the Stilkin, forever raging against the citadel that chokes their caves and sees them suffer. This one's strength was much enhanced by stolen soul. They're not the first who tried to hoard it, or to mold it towards such violent ends. Barnack. Ow. What crap. Toothy growth that lives on cave roofs, wraps wayward bugs with its long tongue and drags them up to be consumed, hiding its tongue among fawns so similar. There's impressive style to this one's trickery. Duct sucker, suction creature surviving on the thick slime that coats its caves. This mindless bug seems to sense only through its tendrils, yet despite that simplicity, it still poses a serious threat. Pond skipper, hard-shelled insect common upon the surface of Shellwood Pond, once a staple food for passing pilgrims. The way they skate along the water's surface is so elegant. Surely it's a skill that can be learned. If time permits, I should attempt the task. Pond catcher, old catcher over Shellwood Pond. Shellwood Pond, bearing a long pin and stricken by the haunting. Once a hunter purely for food, now they hunt unthinking and unending. They hunt unthinking and unending. That's a weird phrasing. Shellwood gnat, tiny soft creature that armors itself using the hard, hollow growths of shellwood. Oh, if the woody hide is shattered, the bug will still bravely, foolishly try to attack. Wood wasp, pointed darting insect that builds a hardy hive from shellwood's dried bark. Destroying the hives will limit their presence in the wood. Useful to me now as I pass along the branches, dangerous in time for the wood's order. Even a small disruption can tip a fragile balance. Well, it's a shame they're all destroyed. Splinter, insect formed to imitate a branch, capable of remaining perfectly still for long periods but unexpectedly swift when roused. Avoiding their ambush is a good test of my senses and my ability to rapidly retaliate. Splinterhorn, insect formed to imitate a branch born with sharp, retractable horns atop its head. Its shell gives it the advantage of surprise, but also forces it into a slender, brittle shape that cannot withstand a heavy attack. Splinterbark, winged insect with a flaky shell that perfectly mimics its environment. Its assault, like a young boy's toy turned deadly. Could I in time fashion a spinning tool to match? Technically, you sort of have one. Sister Splinter, imposing old insect nesting in the heights of Shellwood. Her command of twig and branch ensured no pilgrim ever survived within her territory. This one lived long and fed much. The wood will be much safer for their slaying. Vassia, drifting bug disguised as a flower, disperses crackling clouds of pollen to friend. Quite a beautiful creature. In my own kingdom's court, it would have been highly favored as an ornamental pet. Valencia, floral foe that reacts instinctively to movement nearby, spits pellets of crackling pollen that burst on impact. What exceptional senses it possesses. It detects me with ease even when not a single sound is made. Gallia, floral foe with a core shaped to mimic a mask. The core can be thrust forth to bludgeon unwary bugs. The false mask alone is frightening enough to scare away smaller pests. Shrine Guardian Seth, eternal defender of Shellwood Shrine. His pin and symbol show many marks of their use. He offered fair warning and challenge, a duel in the purest sense. I admire his honor and his skill. Nihilith, ancient heart of Shellwood, connected to all its living things. Her presence would once have maintained the wood's fragile order, allowing the safe passage of bugs across its branches. Firm, burrower that nests in the bell vein and seeks out hard bells to protect its soft body. You know, I would very much like to feel their soft fur. If only it weren't so hostile. Winged Firm, furred bug beneath the heavy bell. It has grown too large to burrow, but in maturing it has developed small wings. Huge and soft, a fantastic combination ruined by their haunted aggression. I see Hornet has a type. Hornet likes the furry bugs and thinks they are adorable. And they are. Anyway. Farlid, small arachnid found in many crevices and caves throughout Farloom. Something in their assault reminds me of my own skill. Though their talents are born purely of instinct, my technique is formed from hard training. Farlid Diver, arachnid that nests within dark holes and cavern roofs, pounces on prey from far above. Smart hunter learns to wait long in ambush, always ready to strike the first blow. Chardelard, devious ambusher that poses as a fossil. Once roused, the bug will crash its steely shell into walls, floors, and foes. Sandcarver, shell-plated worm that lives beneath pools of shifting sand, bursts forth at the movement sensed close, and will consume any object or bug careless enough to fall into its maw. Squirm, wriggling young grub that lives in darkness. If allowed the opportunity, these creatures will grow into a form larger and more oppressive. Judge, gilded guardian of the blasted steppes, bearing a symbol and mallet. They remorselessly eliminate any pilgrim or passerby deemed impure to their sight. The countless husks strewn on paths beside them tell of their conclusive decisions. Last Judge, final arbiter of the blasted steppes, tasked to ensure only the sinless ever step beyond the grand gate. The huge judge likely stood through countless generations, never defeated, never wavering in their charge. Coral Firm, dark-furred bug protecting itself with a spiked coral nut. Its fur is thick and silky, sadly lost to its haunting. I shall never safely be able to touch it. Driznet, nesting creature that fuses its face with sharpened coral. It's easy to be caught off guard by the ricocheting trajectory of its flung mask, especially in tight corners. Driznarga, large male Driznet, ferocious and territorial, fires its heavy coral mask at intruders. A fine shot with its sharp mask. Its aggression has no ill effect on its aim. Okanabin, drifting creature with a wide coral mask and a hard proboscis to stab its prey. passively waits for prey to blunder into its path. A technique that should not necessarily be derided. Whatever is effective is best. Conchfly. Small bug that crafts a shell of sharpened coral. Spins its shell at rapid speed to cut through crust and bone. The way it darts in and out of the ground has an almost playful quality to it, and amusing and effective way to ambush prey. Great Conchfly. Elder Conchfly crowned with a huge coral horn. Once partner with a mate, they will rarely be seen alone. Pair with another is a base instinct, and one that brings some bugs great joy. I once sought similar union, but of my own mates, none could match my lifespan. Interesting. Crust Crawler. Soft-shelled scrambler encased in coral. Hidden amongst their tower's matching crust, these smaller bugs would have survived and thrived. Crust Crag. Coral hulk with a dense shell, bred to immense size by the Citadel's memoriam. Nature distorted. This bug was born tiny and mild. The Citadel deformed it in futile hope it may sustain. Kai. Plump and plentiful drifter of a coral past. They once teemed around their tower, in numbers immense. It is a rare chance to witness such a bountiful display of life. Spinebeak Kai. Steel-horned floater, able to defend itself and its companions. A critical member of the larger flock. Without them present, the Kai would be fast driven to extinction by larger predators. Steel Spine Kai. Toughened Kai capable of extending sharp spikes from within its shell sac. Seeming soft, but hiding a sharp surprise. Any larger predator attempting to bite would learn a pointed and painful lesson. Yuma. Gelatinous coral drifter of simple mind and placid demeanor. A creature at its most basic, this one's no threat to me, or any other. Umama. Large, gelatinous drifter, chases away threats by hurling its bulk around. When defeated, it splits into many smaller forms. Yet another remarkable creature of this land before the monarch. Baraka. Staunch and skilled blade bug of a once flourishing land lost to time. The core member of a powerful order, trained fearless and faithful. Theirs was a kingdom of warriors, once one built upon their blades. Akri. Lithe-winged scouts frequently paired with their heavier brethren. Its training resembles my own, favoring fast strikes and rapid movement. Once a hunter, perhaps. Yago. Wide-massed aerial attacker trained to act as support for its grounded companions while remaining at range. Not a frontline force, but in my assault upon their tower, all emerge to see me stilled. Karak Gore. Heavy and hard-shelled charger relying on weight and strength. Far tougher for being matched inside their encrusted domain. They must have lived their whole lives within their tower to command it so. Alita. Leaping hunter of a bygone age, the swiftest of their sect, deftly skilled with spinning foreblades. In contests of speed and strength, I have seen the swift more often triumphant, a lesson I have taken to my own heart. Core Crust Karaka, overgrown elder, able to spawn burning bubbles from within its coral case shell. This bug's fusion with the crust growth, it seems intentional, though I imagine the union is far from comfortable. Crust King Khan, hardened warrior lord of a bygone age, able to command the coral crust to his bidding. For his stern stewardship, his legions seemed utterly loyal. For less combative bugs, his would have been a hard rule. Watcher at the edge, old warrior guarding the border of their domain, stiffened by time and awoken by song. They held long at their vigil, far beyond the age of their brethren, yet still when roused they swung their blade with remarkable ease. Voltworm, coiled nest of charged worms, assaults intruders with bolts of crackling electricity. Barely a bug, and possessing only basic thought, yet instinct alone proved enough to turn it deadly. Drapefly, erratic flying pest that nests in rags and curtains. Like fabric somehow sprung to life, its pelt is perfectly matched to the rags it infests. Drape Lord, elder drapefly grown big from age and consumption. Its heavy body allows it to hit much harder than its younger companions. Reed will always see some bugs swell above their kin. Drapemite, cloth-covered crawler with sharpened forelimbs, lives and breeds in dark places. Farm structures seem almost built for them, the endless corners and cracks, so perfect for mites to burrow and nest. Giant Drapemite, full-size mite of the Citadel cloaked in an old curtain. Few creatures of that of that silk-stricken place would find nourishment enough to grow so large. Underworker, feeble servant of the underworks with a long twist pin and a hard shell. With all the refuse collapsing through their domain, the worker's stiff shell would be essential if they held any hope to survive. Underscrub, trained yet dedicated laborer, wielding a coarse steel brush. That they ever hope to keep their domain clean. What futility. Undersweep uses their steel-bristled pin to scrub the soot from vents and pipes. Their sharp cleaning implement is as filthy as the rest of this place. They only layer grime on grime. Underpoke, trained worker on the verge of collapse. Consumed by the haunting, they continue to work far beyond their mortal limits. They toiled incessantly for the citadel, their shells bent and grayed, and now the kingdom's curse means not even death can relieve them. Underloft, exhausted bug grown sickly from the smog of the underworks. The workers' twist pins, once tools of repair, now serve as spun projectiles. The cost of so much grandeur. Did I peer closely enough into the foundations of my own kingdom? Undercrank, heavy, hard-shelled worker, forever repairing the Citadel's crumbling underworks. There seem no ranks in their domain, yet this one has risen above the rest. A station likely gained through intimidation and thuggery. Envoy, guide and oft-times leader within the Citadel Squire. Bugs like these crossed the caves to bring me to Farloom. I cut down many before my capture, than I had thought them minded and cunning. Now I can see the singular will that haunts them all. Squire Pouncer, agile bug, and one of the few hardy pilgrims to have reached the Citadel. One of Farloom's favored bugs, and yet their domain and their shells would have been the first to fall to the haunting. Squire Hornhead, full-grown former pilgrim serving the Citadel. Did this one grow large thanks to the Citadel's success, or was it its formidable size the reason it ever survived to reach this place? How did they get past the last judge? Squire Bellbearer, winged devout of the Citadel, carrying a brace of gilded bells. Farloom proves the effectiveness of bells as weapons. Never before had I considered them as such. Squire Flyer, aerial bug of the Citadel, unarmed, but for its short horn. For this bug to have survived Farloom's climb, it must have teamed with stouter companions. I cannot imagine it succeeding alone. Squire Elder, aged former pilgrim, uses their wings to position above threats and crush them under their large shell. Time allowed their shell to grow thick, all the better for battering their targets. Forrestor, disciple of the choir, elevated above other pilgrims and forced to cowl their face forevermore. Their use of a pin shows hard training. The use of silk, unfurled from a spool and held close, shows skill far beyond standard bugs. Reed, disciple of the choir, charged to maintain its perfect order, by sharp pin, if necessary. A form well suited for combat, lithe and fast. No surprise it seems to rank so high among its cult. Grand Reed, high-standing insect of the choir, bearing a bow. This elite reed has been trained and fed beyond its smaller fellows. This bug bears a spool of silk, which they flail to attack. Though somewhat crude, there is a technique much reminiscent of weavers. I wonder who taught them such a use. Choir Clapper, mighty percussive disciple of the choir, wielding a mallet and a silk spool to wrap and enhance their attacks. There is no finesse in its use of silk. It consumes its slim supply only to amplify its force. Claw Maiden, puppet servant of the Citadel suspended on strings of silk, an early form of automaton requiring extensive silk to maintain its service. If given the chance, this one will steal silk from any significant source, including my own shell. Memoria, learned disciple of the choir, charged to maintain the Citadel's memoriam. From the outset, theirs was a hopeless task. Those wild lands can never be replicated within a space so artificial. Minister, gold-ringed disciple of the choir and direct servant to the Citadel's conductors. The lethality of these bugs is unexpected. Their bodies were never built for combat. The haunting has altered their nature dramatically. Maestro, choir commander of the High Halls, able to summon and command cogflies that afflicted their baton. Once they summoned song from their subjects, now they rise only to command an end to those unstrung. Second Sentinel, Hogwark Knight of Farloom, Once protector of its pilgrims and master of the scissor blade, the talent and intelligence of this construct goes far beyond others I have witnessed. They seem less built as a tool to serve than an attempt at life itself. Dreg Husk. Remains of a citadel bug possessed by silk dregs. The husk will lash out wildly with the many sharp pins caught inside its thread. There's an old anguish bound upon these threads, the result of countless cruel procedures. Dreg Wheel. Shell of a small bug possessed by silk dregs. The husk will stretch its silk to form a crude, crushing wheel. Living silk commanding a dead shell, an affront to nature, one all too common across Farloom. Surgeon. Role position of White Ward, responsible for operations and modifications on the Citadel's bugs. Their procedures with silk may have prolonged life within the Citadel, but they have unknowingly gifted many minds to the Monarch. Mortician. Altered servant in the Citadel's White Ward, responsible for the cremation of husks and the recycling of silk from their shells. It lies low to the ground, perhaps out of reverence for its task, but it can spring up suddenly to attack. Its shear makes for a deadly weapon with surprising reach. The Unraveled. Tormented will of countless husks, made manifest in a pit of silk dregs. The souls of so many bugs obsessed with silk, consumed by it. Their pain shall forever remain in that pit. Even I do not possess strength enough to cleanse it. Cogwork Underfly. Small automaton built to work, without complaint, in the scorching heat of the Underworks' cauldron. It's no wonder these constructs were cast. No mortal bug would last long inside that scorching place. Even my shell struggles to withstand its heat. Cogwork Hauler. Small automaton with a shielded shell, intended to carry loads of dangerous flint flame. Born and built only to work until time stiffens its limbs, perhaps it is a mercy this construct knows nothing of the freedom it lacks. Cogwork Crawler. Automaton built in the shape of a scuttling bug, intended to cut song cylinders free of any obstruction. Its form is certainly based on bugs found outside the Citadel. In my own craftwork, I too often look to nature for inspiration. Cogworker. Flighted automaton responsible for repairing and extending the core. More effective an opponent than would be guessed. The precarity of its winding domain can make even its simple assault a challenge. Cogwork Spine. Spherical winged automaton housing many sharp spikes. I cannot decipher its function to the greater core. Is it built for defense? If so, its passivity seems far from optimal. Cogwork Choirbug. Forged from iron, rotor, and cog, the automaton works tirelessly to maintain the core that houses it. Its core is filled with fine mechanisms, but that alone should not produce a convincing mimic of life. Silk must also be used to animate this artifice, though exactly how I'm not sure. Cogwork Cleanser. Steam shooting automaton, forged to clean the cogwork core and keep it free of infestation. An inspired use of steam. Must remember its construction when designing future tools. Cogwork Defender. Cogwork construct forged primarily for the core's protection. Bears a shield and poke pin and possesses a lethal understanding of their use. It has no true mind, yet fights effectively, adjusting its strategy to my movements. Where exactly are its thoughts written? Yeah, his attacks are easily baitable if you know what you're doing. Cogwork Clapper. Rare automaton intend to perform ringing of bells and cymbals in the depths of the core. I have not yet seen the bell this automaton is designed to ring, nor do I ever wish to hear it. Such a clamor would no doubt be unpleasant to experience. Cogwork Dancers. Automatons of impeccable construction, welcoming entrance to their chamber with a display of deadly dance. 2 cogwork bugs, and yet the soul seems singular, a sad yet masterful imitation of life imbued inside shells of iron. Vaultborn. Young acolyte raised in the darkest vaults, designed to ascend to the rank of scroll reader. In entering their domain, I freed these bugs to infest the greater vaults. They're a nuisance, and I only have myself to blame. Lampbearer, disciple of the Whispering Vaults, tasked to navigate its dim recesses to retrieve old scrolls. An essential bug if one ever hoped to navigate that dark maze of stacks and scrolls. Scroll Reader. Gilded servant of the Whispering Vaults, born to read and recall the near-endless scrolls of prayer. Did they ever truly understand those inscrutable scrolls, or is it all merely pretense, an endless act to maintain their order station within the Citadel? Vault Keeper. High caste bug responsible for delivering sermons and leading prayer for those beyond the walls of the Whispering Vaults. Most likely this one's true change was to root out and condemn those not seen as sufficiently fervent. Terobio. Haughty thespian convinced only that dazzling performance can raise Farloom from the throes of death. His desire to see Farloom saved may have been well-intentioned, but he seemed quite happy for the others to die upon that stage in pursuit of his goal. Tormented Terobio. Depressed thespian, consumed by the melancholy of a collapsing world. This one chose to embrace the doom to come. I shall not share such easy surrender. Penitent. Humbled prisoner serving their sentence for sin committed within the Citadel. All are haunted here, the jailers and the jailed. Do they realize they'll never leave this place, or how long they've stayed already? Puny Penitent. Small bug shackled and cowled for sin committed within the Citadel. Their thick shroud leaves them sightless. Yet it seems to matter little. They have no care for their own safety, wishing only to charge at those they sense as sinful. Fresh Fly. Infant fly, freshly hatched. At this age, the soft, blind fly is little more than a bother. The less these gruesome bugs breed, the better. Scab Fly. Sticky young fly, born and grown in service to the slab. Foul creatures birthed in the servitude. Their plight elicits no sympathy from me. Guardfly. Starved servant of the slab, bearing a hooked long pin. The smell from these jailers overwhelms my senses. I strongly doubt they have ever thought to bathe. Wardenfly. Heavy, hairy jailer responsible for capturing sinners and punishing prisoners. Disgusting in both manner and stench. I feel no remorse to see them felled. Broodmother. Mad matriarch of the slab, rarely seen outside her warren. From her, all jailers are born and bred. With this one vanquished, I hope to have sped the end for that jail in distasteful order. Driftlin. Gentle glider of Mount Fey. Its downy wings and cowl allow it to resist even the most cutting cold. This one would make a perfect pet, but for the freezing temperatures it requires for comfort. That I feel like that statement from Hornet is not grammatically correct. What is that? Nemenid? Blighted creature formed from Cold Shard. If shattered, it will quickly reform. The Cold Shard, even when destroyed, it remembers its former shape. A remarkable material, and perhaps even more astonishing, there seems life contained within it. Nemenord. Huge flighted creature formed from Cold Shard. This larger form carries so much weight it can barely move from its place. Servitor Ignim. Small construct built by weavers past, brought to life through silk runes threaded within. Though the weavers have long passed from Farloom, the servant still performs its function. Servitor Boran. Broken construct built by weavers past, able to fire a focus beam of silksite to carve halls and chambers through ice and bone. The servitor has been heavily damaged by time and the elements. Its actions have grown erratic. It seems no longer able to discern friend from foe. Winged Life Seed. Mindless sac filled with plasmium. When broken, the plasmium can be consumed for its temporary benefits to health. My unique shell can resist the darker deformations of this substance, but even I have limits. Plasmid. Mutated young worm infected with plasmium. The new form displays potent regenerative skill. Harlem shall quickly learn the curse of this substance. What benefits it provides can be swiftly outweighed. Plasmidas. Large worm mutated heavily by plasmium. Creature has become fused to the roof of its cave, no longer able to move freely. In my home caves, when once this substance was allowed to flourish, I saw similar aberrations. This is wonder tainted strong with revulsion. Plasmified Zango. Husk of an alchemist's assistant granted false life by plasmium. He carelessly seeded these caves with that cursed substance. His final fate seems fair reward for those efforts, yet I feel some sympathy. It is an alluring power. Leaf Glider. Fine winged flyer that survives in flocks. So light that can rest atop still water surface. An elegant bug indeed. Leaf roller. Pointed scurrier posing as plant life. Simple, graceful. Another fine bug lost forever from these lands. Pendra. Flighty insect that lives beside still waters. Though generally passive, their sharp masks can cause injury if carelessly blundered into. Pendragor. Heavy insect that lives near large bodies of water. Its weighty body is best avoided. When they do not hinder my path, I find their simple motion rather pleasant. Nufar. Predatory plant with a powerful jaw resembled shaped to resemble a lily pad. A snapping surprise on first encounter, the one easily avoided once aware. Clover stag. Placid native of Verdania, its hide closely mimics the flora of its territory. An impressive act of mimicry to match so closely with its land. Their clover caves must have sustained through generations uncounted. Pale stag. Fabled first clover stag of Verdania's wild. Commands the grass and leaves to aid its attack. Myth made real in memory. The creature seemed completely at one with the flora around it. Did it ever truly exist as I have seen it? Kindenir. Child of Verdania, fully capable to fight despite its young age. Fierce and fast and defending their lands even from birth. These are children to be proud of. Verdanier. Guarding warrior with sharpened forelimbs and heightened senses. They rarely relax, always alert for potential danger, even deep in their own territory. To defeat them, my focus must match their own. Escallion. Blindingly fast, winged warrior able to launch pointed pinions from its forelimbs. Born with many tools I would once have desired for myself. Fortunately, I trained hard around those limits. Clover dancers. Dual princes of old Verdania, beloved by their subjects for their grace and for their ballet of death they delivered upon outsiders. For one to love another so similar to themselves, is that selfless or vain? Shadow creeper. Shell-plated worm found only in the deepest depths. Seems to survive despite consuming no food or liquid. A creature long familiar to me. I suspect that no matter how far I travel, if I descend deep enough, they will always be there. Shadow charger. Bulky worm of the deepest depths. Lives in tight crevices and uses its weighty body to batter. These ones grow large, yet I've never observed them eating or sleeping. They seem such simple bugs, but I suspect they're not truly our cousins. Gloomsack. Tiny, empty creature, barely a bug. Follows its prey whole and sucks their nutrients until nothing remains. This one disturbs me. There's something I fear in its simplicity. Do I almost feel fear? Gargant Gloom. Enormous tubular beast uniquely suited to living close to the void below. Amazingly, the creature carries the void's black liquid in its stomach, violently spraying it forth if threatened. Void tendrils. Lashing fragments of pure darkness shaped into sharpened tentacles. The void that will claim all things. The barred forms it chooses its nature can be seen clear. Void mass. Dense knot of husks bound tight by void-soaked silk. Silk and shells corrupted. That void seeks now to claim this land whole. These poor shells are only the beginning. Wing mold. False fly with a rune-etched shell. A tortured mix of soul and void is caged within. A crude construct of my father's fallen domain. Only a fool believes that void can be fashioned to do their bidding. Garpid. Sightless burrower that reacts violently to the slightest sound. A common enough bug, though not to be underestimated. The acuteness of their other senses more than makes up for their lack of vision. Emoba. Slow drifting bug with a heavy top shell. The bug reacts little to threats, even those that could claim its life. The poor creature has lived a life too calm and coddled. It would not fare well in the world beyond its walls. Skrill. Common crawler that lives beneath the sand. The surface dweller is free of silk. Its nature remains its own. The monarch's influence must only have stretched below it. Bell Eater. Long dormant centipede awoken and enraged by Farloom's crumbling collapse. A monster in the classic form of tales from youth. Its slaying was done as much by my fierce traveling companion as by myself. Huge flea. Oversized bug. Briefly consumed by anger after its long time caged. I would not have guessed so large and marvelous a fleet existed. I am pleased it saw sense before I had to strike a killing blow. Chakra, warrior cartographer of a tribe from Farloom's Edge. Her skills in battle could challenge the kingdom's best. She has lived a mere fraction of my lifetime, and yet her rings prove a ferocious match. As gifted a warrior as I have ever encountered, and one I am fortunate to call a friend. Garmund and Zaza, vigorous old knight and their noble companion working together to see their lands cut free from haunted madness. They too seek the specter at the haunting's heart, though I fear that foe would pose a challenge beyond their mortal limits. Lost Garmund, old knight consumed by black thread. A tragic fate for a once honorable bug, those void-soaked threads. Their physical might is nothing compared to the corruption they wreak upon a soul. Pinstress, blade maiden of a once renowned warrior sect, survived long beyond the rest of her order. I like her for her willingness to teach and her spirit still strong. Despite a long age spent solitary, she has my respect. Widow, Craze fanatic able to guide Farloom's haunted silk by music played upon it. Her body seemed a weaver's, but her mask had been forcibly removed, and her own silk was bound useless by heavy pins lodged through her spine. First sinner, ancient weaver condemned for a transgression loss of time. This one's husk held a masterful talent, weaves silk into blazing runes. Throughout my life, I have seen runes woven for many tasks. Was she the first to hone such skills? Phantom, mournful creature tasked alone to expel the Citadel's choking refuse. Their talent with the long pin is unmatched. Though gray with age, their frayed form suggested a being strung from silk, one who welcomed the decisive end in combat over a slow decline. Lace, manic fencer who delights in battle. A bug born entirely of thread. Much silk would have been needed to see her sustained. A fragile form of life, but life nonetheless. And Grandmother Silk, monarch of Farloom and the primal source of silk. Heart of the haunting, long lulled to slumber and desperate to wake, the higher being's threads stretched throughout Farloom, snaring bugs and driving them to madness and discord. Time: 57 minutes and 19 seconds. Fun read. Anyway, we actually need to run to Belhart real quick. Get out of here. All we have to do is not rest at a bench. As long as you don't rest at a bench, we're good. Hopefully. The heart's beating in here. Anyway, let's look at these mementos real quick. Sprintmaster Memento, Gilded Trophy awarded by Sprintmaster Swift to the fastest bug in Farloom. Hero's Memento, Heirloom of a village lost to Farloom's haunting. Hunter's Memento, seal symbol given in recognition of a true hunter, stamped in sticky goo. Wax, Conjoined Heart, enlivened heart of the Green Prince, its beat is sharp and clear. Craw Memento, Iron Emblem with a Court of Craws, absolving the bearer of all crimes past and future. Nice. Surface Memento, worn ornament of the nameless town high above Farloom. Gray Memento, engraved crust stone, worn by sand and blanched by time. Watch, remember, till time, life anew. We didn't get this one because I am not going to be scoring all of those challenges. Shut. Well, I guess it doesn't hurt to collect, right? So, do we teleport back to the Abyss? Oh, dang it. Okay. It's still better than,
Nesvir?
It's still better than having to travel the whole way. Into the abyss we go. To fight one, maybe two final bosses. I don't really know. The fastest way just to be to take like the regular path. It's properly avoiding all the spikes. Now with our much better movement. Nice. Nice. We can just go straight down, right? Yeah. So emotional. The quest is right over there. Let's go kick some ass. Child, I hold the means to descend. Let us meet one final time and quell this black ruin of our making. Who are you hoping you'll find down there, Spider? An ailing child and a silk-starved beast? If so, I'm afraid we may sorely disappoint. What waits below is me no longer.
That's fine.
Even if only your shadow remains to release your mother's grip, my blade would see it slain. Then why hold even in this moment? Surely terror hasn't suddenly claimed your hardened heart. Take the final plunge, Spider. Join us in my drowning palace and let oblivion swallow us all. Oblivion may take you, child. My own life I shall not sacrifice. I have survived the fury of your land. I have borne its barbs and its blades, and I have seen wonder behind its dangers. But always, child, I remain a daughter of Hollownest. And the void below all things, that darkness I will feel no longer. Die. All the hard work we put in to get that flower. Oh, it's getting eaten away at. Is it safe inside the void cocoon there? Maybe. Safe-ish. It's a little murky. It's bound by the void. Wrapped up. Lost lace. poor timing for that. This is gonna be a very, very tough fight, I can tell. Diving extra fast. Skipping the cutscene. As many times as we need. Slide. Baiting me with that final attack. Wait, why am I not just sitting at the bench for a few more seconds? Just to max out that silk bar. Okay. We need to get to phase 2 without using any equipment. We just gotta get better at the fight. Definitely a tough boss fight, though. A lot of quick patterns to memorize. Oh, you can dive after that one too? Damn it. Do we have this? Do we have the faster binding thing equipped? We do not. That will make my life a little bit easier, because it'll make it easier to get our heals off. We might be able to forego the long claw with this fight. Not sure the range helps us too much here. See, the fractured mask could probably be good because it's free. Free, like a free hit. Eventually save our lives, I guess. Let's try it. Doesn't hurt to just try a few new things and see how they work out. As we slowly learn these patterns. Although, it seems more you just have to just remember, like, a lot of her stuff. Like, her dash attack is, like, the most confusing one, because she can keep mixing up the attacks. Like, she seems to have, like, some form of, like, actual AI where it can read your position and then attack accordingly. Oh, I got it the wrong way. I just double jumped. Yeah, see? She don't always just do like a triple dash. She'll actually read your position properly. That's a new attack. Horrible timing on that. Got me. Didn't do too bad that time, though. Not do much better that time. In fact, that was the worst run so far. Damn it. Damn it. How did we lose a whole thing of silk? We only healed once. We're not getting any better at this boss fight for some reason. It's getting harder to fight it for some reason. Usually I don't do too bad at reading the boss's patterns, but this one, for whatever reason, it's fucking me up. Let your guard down. Got lucky with that one. Oh, she dodged the other way. Heal. Phase 1, almost certainly done. Where's phase 2? Oh, jeez. What the fuck? He just fucking teleported me into that attack. What the hell? I needed one more hit there. Damn. I've healed. That phase 2 transit, I guess phase 3 transition takes so long for avoiding those things. Hopefully we do better this time. Free hit. Walk right into that one. It did not let me double jump there. Just run away when she's in the air. And when she's doing those attacks. Phase 2. Lucky. Not lucky. I like how the attack did not pogo and instead just move my hitbox into hers. Beautiful. Not how that should work, but okay. not getting any better at the fight, unfortunately. Feeling like it's the limit of my reactive skills in this fight. 'Cause I am not good at these types of games, and I'm fully cognizant of that. Projectiles from off screen. That sucks that we're not getting any better at this fight, though. Most of the other ones we got further and further. I'm not getting that. This one. Haven't even made it to the third phase for a second time yet. That was a weird delay on that damage. How did we take damage there? How did we not take damage there? starting to gloss over, getting bored. Double jump in there. Look, we made phase 3 again. Second into phase 3. Yeah, didn't really get anywhere with that. Still not doing any better. standing in range of it. Obviously, in the middle. Yeah, we're still not getting any better at the boss fight. Yes, at best we're reliably getting to phase 2, but when phase 2 starts, everything starts to fall apart completely. We start losing health and keep our silk up. At the moment, so I think I'm gonna have to call it a night for now. So we'll try fighting it. We'll try fighting him next time then, but we're not getting any better at the fight, so hopefully when I'm more awake I'll be able to do a little bit better. We can knock this game out. So until then, have a good night.